Hey, I'm Kev Massacre, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the manager career. So we're heading to the Czech Republic. And here we are in Brno. We've got some cloudy conditions overhead. Got some sun trying to peek through, but qualifying early in this session might prove to be a good idea, as you never know, the rain could come late in the session. Let's see what MacDonald can do in qualifying. It's disappointing last time out, but the race was superb, so let's see if he can align both parts of the weekend, or major parts of the weekend. He goes slightly wide in the first corner. The track surface does look a bit greasy, but it's definitely dry. Braking heavily into the left hand. This Brno circuit all about in a bit of a flow around a very long track. So too much on the curb there. Had to wait to get on the power on the exit. And now we're coming into the very tight section, which MacDonald was very good at in Moto 3. Let's see if he's good on a Moto 2 bike. Not MotoGP just yet. Maybe next season. He's into the second half of the season. He's in that battle for the top 5 in the championship with the likes of Luti, Baldassarri, Bassini. He's just outside of the top 5 at the moment. So that's the new aim of this season. The first half being the top 10 at the end of the season, but MacDonald's showing more pace than that. Now it's to be in the top 5. Because even with this greasy track, MacDonald doing a good job getting the bike into all the corners. Not going wide anywhere. It might not have been a good idea actually to be at the start of this session. It probably will dry out now and probably have a dry race, so we'll see at the end of the session as it goes slightly wide in the penultimate corner. Trying to get on the power at the final corner, struggling. 2-minute 0.5. I think ideally we would want to be under the 2-minute mark around here. But still a decent lap, but you saw it didn't go wide too many places, didn't make too many mistakes, just lots of little ones there. Let's see, you can see the weather conditions there in the background. Actually, only a second off markers at the moment. We'll take that in the top 10 qualifying MacDonald. Solidly in the third row alongside Nakagami and Shirota, with Vergey rounding out the top 10 ahead of Danny Kent and Marini, with Morbidelli on par ahead of his title rival, his teammate. His markers by 5 thousandths of a second and just 10 thousandths of a second ahead of Thomas Luthi as well. Qualifying is ridiculous in this category, it really does get close. With Oliveira leading the second row ahead of Bassini and Baldassarri, as well as Vanda. Not last, 30th. Decent qualifying for a teammate for once in the top 30. So can the South African move up in the race, and can MacDonald grab another win? As we look at the grid, and it is definitely a bit drier than in qualifying. You can see the track surface not as greasy as there is. Light still on the second page in 8th, his best qualifying for a while for the elusive riders. Looking further down the grid, you can see Simeon leading the 7th row, looking pretty happy. They're ahead of Navarro, who rounds out the top 20. And there is Magna, not on the last page, in 30th, as it is.
So the race is about to begin, and the riders know that all the hard work they put in won't mean a thing if they can't cross the finish line in one of the positions that counts.
Spanish rider right at the back as Gavin Emmett interrupts me. There we are, revving the engine on the grid. Gonna get a super start. MacDonald as the 6-hour race is underway. And he's definitely jumped his fellow third row occupiers. He's jumped the second row. Can he maybe take the lead going into the first corner? He can. Dive in the bike, and actually the track surface is pretty greasy. Still looking at it. Here comes one of the Mark VDS boys, back by MacDonald, but he's up to second from the third row. Very good as he slots in ahead of Luthi. Goes slightly wide as Luthi gets pushed wide by Morbidelli. MacDonald stays ahead of the Italian. He's got Marcus in front. Once again, doing a good job from the Spaniard in this race. He goes elbow to elbow with the Italian. Oh, MacDonald outbreaks himself though. That was the Luti bite. We've got Piscini there as well. We've got Oliveira, the whole gang. And Oliveira sneaking by. MacDonald pushed back down from the lead to sixth halfway through. It's opening that. Everyone's going wide everywhere. Look at this. They're all taking unusual lines in these conditions. Including MacDonald taking some grass with him as Marini up to 7th. Very good start for the Italian. So Oliveira tries to make a move on Piscini. Down the hill, MacDonald taking a very wide line. Too wide a line. Look at that, it's allowed. Bagnaia by as well. He's down to 8th. But he's gone very slow into the left-hander. MacDonald eased his way past the Italian. We've got Nakagami right on our tail. There's Vergate, Tech 3 rider. Xavi, the tactician, moves down to 10th. Baldazari, very unusual breaking into that penultimate corner. MacDonald takes advantage, up into 6th. But then runs right in the final corner. But that allowed the Italian back by as he's definitely in the slitcher as Marcus leads ahead of his teammate. Oliveira rounds out the top 5. And MacDonald breaks very, very late. Taking a very wide line. Bagnaia the fastest down that opening at 203.7. So MacDonald gets a good run though, taking that wide line. Oliveira up to 4th ahead of Piscini. And they'll be chasing down that top 5 will the Scot. So gets it into the left. Look at that, look at it. It's just birds flocking all over the place in front. Very unusual lines. It's not actually wet, it's just a greasy track, but you've seen that into a couple corners round here. Again, not hitting the apex of the top 5. Oh, it definitely does into that right-hander. Now into the left. Now they're hitting the apex. But yeah, just a couple of corners are going wide. It's some very unusual lines. You can see into the left. Let's see if MacDonald can take advantage of that though as he goes right into the right-hander. So there you get on the power there so he doesn't spin up the rear wheel. Tyre wear not an issue so far, which is good to see. Very wide about that heading into this race. He goes slightly wide in that right-hander again. Down here, downhill, such a tricky braking zone. Now into the left, MacDonald hits that apex. And Oliveira outsets his bike there in front. Didn't really start Piscini, but it's allowed MacDonald to have a super run on the Italian heading into the penultimate corner. He dives it down the inside. As he dives it down the inside of Oliveira as well. Oh, the Red Bull rider coming back in the final corner. These two going to war again in Moto2. He tries to cross the line in front. The Red Bull rider. Oh, first man into the 59s under the 2-minute mark. As he gets up to 4th ahead of Oliveira into that first corner, right behind Thomas Luti now. So after being shuffled back, Luti rider making a good comeback here. Easing his way back to the front. So Oliveira breaks himself there. Again taking that wide line. MacDonald trying to take advantage of Luti taking that wide line. Elbow to elbow with the Swiss veteran. And up into a podium position. Now he's just got the Mark VDS trends in front. As Luti looks around the outside though. Into the right hand. It comes to the inside for the left, but the Intuitant rider hasn't hung on to MacDonald's tail there. Oh, I say that. He has dived it down the inside into the left-hander. And here comes Oliveira now. It's like a package deal. You get one, you get both. They've gone wide again. So is MacDonald. And here comes Oliveira pushing MacDonald onto the curb. He's having none of it though, is the Scot. Breaks early though into the right-hander. And oh, Piscini clips the back of the elusive rider, but they both make it through. He rejoins in 6th behind the Italian, but he won't be having any of that, will he? pushes Bassini wide. As he makes his way back up to 5th, just outbraked himself there, MacDonald. You can see it, it's cost him almost a second to the front 4. You see Mark VDS riders leading here as we get to the halfway mark, but they're not getting away with it. Luti and Oliveira, despite battling hard, are clinging on, and so is MacDonald in 5th. Head of Baldassari now, he's overtaking his fellow Italian. So going to the first corner, keep it in 3rd. Save that rear tyre a bit. He needs to set onto the power. See if it gets past Luti in that first corner. I'm getting in the slipstream here slightly now. Pair in front as all the Mark VDS riders almost get into one another. Oliveira and Luti too. We've got Baldassari and Bassini battling hard behind, a second and a half behind now. They've dropped back. And it's now a front 5. Battle between the top 5 for the win. So MacDonald breaks a bit later into that right-hander. Much better cam momentum now through those couple of right-handers. Now into the left. Luti taking a look at Oliveira. MacDonald taking a look at Luti. You really could put a blanket over this top 5 at the moment. You see, here comes MacDonald down the inside of Luti, is he? They bash, but MacDonald gets through. The winner between the Black Low and White Machines there. And now downhill, running wide. That might allow Luti to come back. German tries, or Swiss rider tries. Isn't able to do it. And now MacDonald into left-hander up the hill, into the right. Looking for a way past the Red Bull KTM rider who's now right on the tail of the Mark VDS Trins. Luti dropping back slightly at this lap after being passed. And here comes MacDonald down the inside of Oliveira. Goes into the final corner and holds it. Just about holds onto a podium position. As he dips into the 59s again, 59.7 does his fastest lap. Is it good timing from MacDonald? Has he gone to the penultimate lap of the race, looking down the inside of Morbidelli now? You can see Marquez right in front. He's in all of the curve, and now he's got some beautiful stretch stream. That's the elusive rider going for the lead in Brno. As he holds that left-hander and takes it. Now into the right. Oh, here comes Marquez battling back. Very aggressive. From the would-be championship leader. As MacDonald tries to block off Morbidelli into the right. Seems to have worked as the Italian remains behind. Look how close it is though between these three. Virtually breathing on top of each other. And here comes Oliveira from nowhere. Never rule out Oliveira, the Portuguese rider. Never. So now he takes second, but MacDonald takes it back immediately, does he? Oh, he had to wait to get on the power. Back end squealing. This penultimate lap. Marquez still leading. Still a picture of serenity at the front. But here comes the mad pack. It's about to come a madhouse onto this final lap of the race. MacDonald looks around the outside of Oliveira, which comes to the inside for the right-hander. No room at the end there. It's approaching the final lap of this race. It's between 4 riders, it looks like. Not sure if Luti is still involved here. This one again dives down the inside of Oliveira in that penultimate corner. That's got to be the corner where he's going to try and make a move on Marquez on this final lap. If he can hold on to second though. As he's elbow to elbow with Oliveira. Look at that. Level across the line, the pair. Donald breaking round the outside. Oliveira got the inside. Donald got the run out of the corner though. And takes back second. But it's still a gap to Marquez. He's not getting any slipstream heading into the left-hander. But as you can see, Marquez goes slightly wide. There's MacDonald to catch up, half a second behind. He's chasing. But so is Oliveira, so is Morbidelli. He might even be on the podium after running second for most of the race, behind his teammate. MacDonald goes slightly wide. Oh, of course, that's allowed Oliveira by, but MacDonald fights back. But these two do other fights. MacDonald tries to cut back, gets a bit on the dirt though. That's allowed Marquez to grab the win. He's got a bit of a gap on the Portuguese rider. And Morbidelli's still right in it for a podium. So here comes MacDonald up the hill. Now downhill into the right-hander. Oh, here comes Morbidelli nicking round the outside. Donald holds the inside, and here comes Luti as well for a podium. Let's go into the left, into the right. Oh, it's much smoother from MacDonald into that right-hander. Half a second behind Oliveira, half a second ahead of Luti. But here's the penultimate corner. MacDonald's been making moves on Oliveira all race long, but he's not close enough this time. Still on the Portuguese rider. Can he get the cutback coming out the final corner? Not quite. He's going to hold on. Marquez wins. Oliveira second. MacDonald with another podium. But disappointing not to get the win as Luti came fourth ahead of Morbidelli and MacDonald did the fast lap as well. Baldassarri 6th, Patini 7th, Verge 8th, Bagnaia 9th, and Marini rounds out the top 10 of Agata, Binder, Kent, Corsi, and Corto of the final point by a couple of tenths of a second ahead of Nakagami. Vanda in 21st with Raffin right at the back. So in the championship, Alex Marquez now leads ahead of Morbidelli by 11 points with Oliveira in third, still clinging on 21 points back. Luti in fourth is cut adrift from the top three now and is over 3 race wins behind the new championship leader. And is just 8 points ahead of Baldassarri. He's just 5 points ahead of MacDonald. He's climbed up to 6 ahead of Piscina, and Verge back into the top 10 ahead of Nakagami. Just thinking further down, Corsi up to 15th ahead of Axel Pons, and Binder up to 17th ahead of Shirota, Simeon, and Vinales has Cortese up to 25th ahead of Vanda, and Pons up to 31st ahead of Pauli. As in the constructors' standings, it's a 73-point lead now for Cadex over KTM, with Tech 3 leading about the rest in for 21 points ahead of Sutel, with Speed Up having 20 points in 5th. It's a pretty good race for MacDonald. Just got a bit beaten up by Oliveira that race. You know, he wanted to charge for Marquez, and then the Red Bull KTM rider came back. So a pretty good race there. But yeah, that's why MacDonald just, that thing. You're calming down. So a pretty good race for MacDonald, qualifying right up there in the top 10 and finishing on the podium. While for Vanda started 30th, got up to 21st in the race, but again, that boost with the cruise not really working on the South African. While both on Moto 3 riders achieved the objective once again. That's Sitput grabbing pole, but only finishing in 19th. Still haven't grabbed the point this season so far. The Argentine rider, very consistent, 21st in qualifying. And the race he improves everything apart from his throttle management. The Sitput improves his braking and body position. And the South African improves everything apart from his corner. MacDonald improves nothing. Well, we definitely improve our bank balance. Look how many credits we have earned and reputation. As next time out, we'll be heading to Austria and the Red Bull Ring. Will MacDonald be a charging bull heading towards the top? Or will it be foundering near the back like we have seen in the past around that circuit? Find out next time. South watching. I will see you then.